Assalamu alaikum, my friends. I am Muhammad Shabazz with How to Become a Good Researcher Part 2. So, I request my friends, please uh, subscribe my channel, like it, and share it among your friends. So, in previous vlog, in last week, we just talked about how to develop a good habit for reading in one go, a minimum 4 to 6 hours and maximum 6 to 8 hours per day. Because I think this is the basic requirement for becoming a good researcher. And when you develop these requirements, then no one can stop you, and then you definitely will become a good researcher. But in developing economies are countries which have a very short history. I'm talking about the time period. So we have to see good sources for data, because the second thing for becoming a good researcher is how to collect data and how to select the time period. But before that, I'm just coming to one point, because basically the people who are doing research in developing economies, including me, I also use this habit during my beginning of life as a researcher, because that time up till today I'm learning too much from my experience, from my professors, from my colleagues, and most important from life. So everybody, everything is teaching to me day by day. So similarly, when we were young in research, or we were beginner in research like me, so I try to learn my best from my colleagues. But what I'm looking now days, that people, what they do, they just take model from one study and on one country, and then they just change the data, and they do their research paper or research on the same topic. Yesterday I found one proposal from Gulf country. So that proposal basically mentioned in the proposal, this study has already been done on India, and now we are going to do it on the Asian countries. So unfortunately, I rejected that proposal just on one objection, on one point. Basically, once this study is already done on India, then what is new in this study that should be done on the Asian countries? So there was no satisfactory contribution in the proposal. So I think today authors, they got a rejection via email. So similarly, I have a question. Once you select a model of any country, and in business studies people, they do this oftenly, so then you should see the historical background. Let's say we are doing the same research for two countries. If I talk about, okay, we talk about UK, so we are doing one study on UK. Okay, we have done it, and now with my team I'm thinking, okay, why not we replicate this study on Pakistan? But here very basic things we have to see. And I think if you read the book written by Damodar Gujarati, chapter 6, so where he mentioned, so once we need to compare the studies. So when we and similarly when we replicate the studies, we see, okay, either the historical background of UK is similar with Pakistan, or industrialization process happened or occurred in UK is same with Pakistan, or with India, or with the other Asian countries, or with the other countries, or a European history is similar with the Gulf countries, or with the African countries, or with the other countries. So I think no. So when is no, then I don't think we can replicate a model of UK study on Pakistan. The reason, UK has 600 years history, and Pakistan has just I think 60 70 years, maybe 74 73, something like that. So hell of a difference. That's why I say, once you choose a model, so then you should compare these things: historical economic structure, then social structure, then political structure, then economic globalization, political globalization, then the cultural globalization. All these things we have to see, then we choose the model. If we simply Okay, so this study is already done on UK, so we just change the data and put the data for Pakistan, and we can do a new study. Yes, it is a new study, but the thing is, let's say if I have done a very good paper on Pakistan, and people, I have seen some young researchers, what they have done. I chosen a period from 1972 to 2010. Okay, the new guy, he came, he just I read my paper. He said, okay, Muhammad Shahbaz chosen this period, so why not I just cut his chosen period and I do this. So that guy, he chooses, I mean, study period from 1984 till 2020. So he did a paper, and of course paper will be published because editors, they believe on your honesty. When you submit paper to the journal, the first thing editor, he just, I mean, assumes about you. Okay, so whatever you have written is true, and on the basic ethical values. So once we write, okay, so our is a first study, our is a pioneer study, so everybody believes on that. But on our side, we should be honest with our work. And we, what happened after that? Okay, you get your paper published, but once new researchers, they come and they see, so I think they will not cite your paper, they will cite my paper. So this is not your simple research paper, this is your future. So you should take care of your future like your baby, because I believe my research papers, they are my babies. So that's why I do care of my babies very carefully, just to save my future. So after carefully choosing the model, so you come to the sample selection. I mean, you think about the time period, you think about the sample period, you think about the, I mean, for what time is suitable for this study. It is a separate thing that you choose time series data, panel data, or cross-sectional data, because it depends on the nature of your study. Either you are going to conduct a cross-sectional study, or you are going to do panel study, or single country or time series study. So okay, so now in the case of Pakistan, or in the case of, like, say, we talk about the South Africa. Okay, so I'm an international guy, so I just go to World Development Indicators, because World Development Indicator means it is providing data for all the countries in the world. But it would be time series data, annual data. Again, if you need data set of quarterly and monthly, then you have to see the other data sources. But we should be thankful to eViews. Now you can convert your annual data into quarter, and into sub-annual, into monthly. It is up to you and requirement of your work. So these are things, I mean, very important after selecting the model, or after, I mean, when you choose your empirical model. If you are going to replicate your study, I mean, chosen from the other country. Let's say this study is already done on UK, and you just pick the model and do it on the South Africa. So this is called replication, because according to my experience, I have seen 3 types of research is being done in the world. And once we just separate the developing economies, so then you will find such kind of research. First, we do just replication, take model, change data, and change the country. So we do the replication. Yes, I did in my career, but I believe I have done some mistakes, and I don't want you should also do similar kind of mistakes that I had already done in my career. That's why you should be very choosy, because now competition is very strong in the world, and technology is very advanced. You have great access to the data sources, to all the materials. I mean, just you can go and put the title of your requirements. You will get 1,000 number of articles already published in different journals. So that's why today world is more globalized compared to the world was in 2007, 2008, or 2009. So that's why now competition also is very high among the researchers. So it means you have to do hard work to save your career. Just I mean, to see the things. Okay, so now model is selected. Okay, so you have chosen the period, so it's okay, no problem. Now again, the other issue, this is part of a second issue, I mean, data selection. I mean, we should go for the linear study, or we should go for the non-linear study. Okay, it is separate what kind of approach you have to I mean, apply in your empirical model, it is based on the nature of the data. Let's say if you see my research, mostly I'm thankful to everybody who is reading my research, and I'm thankful to God that God has given me this ability and this capacity, that I'm doing something for the whole mankind, not for Pakistan nation, not for the Muslim nation, but for the whole mankind. So you have seen in my in major of my papers, you will see I insert the table of descriptive statistics and pairwise correlations. Why I go for the descriptive statistics? Because descriptive statistics gives us information about the mode, median, standard deviation, then the other thing. But the most important thing is Jarek-Bera test. Okay, that Jarek-Bera test basically tells us about the distribution of our data we have selected for our empirical model. Either our data is normally distributed, or our data is not normally distributed. So let's say you have a decision, okay, so your data is normally distributed, so you can go for the approaches which are linear in nature. Like we can talk about the Johansson, we can talk about ARDL, we can talk about bootstrapping modeling, we can talk about novel bootstrapping, ARDL, such kind of approaches. But on the other side, if Jarek-Bera tells you that your data set is not normally distributed, so then we should go for the asymmetric approaches. What is asymmetric approaches? Non-linear approaches. Okay, so in non-linear one, once we go, so then we can go, I think, rolling window approaches. Then we can go to the asymmetric ARDL or non-ARDL, something like that. We can go to the quintile ARDL or quintile causality or quintile unit root testing, something like that. So we have to make a decision based on the Jarek-Bera results in which side we should go for the empirical analysis. So all these points, they are very informative and very we should do very carefully our research, because once you are keen to do your research very carefully, then I think at the end of the day you will have a very good research paper in your hands. And every editor in economics, they love to publish your work. So I think for today it is enough. So see you in the next part of how to become a good researcher. Till then, take care of your family and yourself. Goodbye.